Yes, Dre, this is going on at 3. Dre, hopefully you can hear me, but yes, this starts at 3. So literally, like, right now. We were literally just discussing this, and it was seriously 5 minutes. No joke, 5 minutes ago. It was perfect in here. It was nice, and it wasn't like I felt like a sauna, right? And now you walk in, it's like, what's so warm, right? And give it a couple of minutes, and it's gonna be like we can hang meat in here. Yeah, it's crazy. Seriously, it makes no logical sense to me. Makes no logical sense to me at all, whatsoever. So if you guys want, kind of 2 things we're going to be doing. So there's a Canvas course. So if you want to follow this URL right here, it'll take you to the Canvas course, the self-enroll course. So at that point, there's just a little button on the right-hand side that'll say join or enroll, one of the two. I can't remember which one it says now. But then all you have to do is go in and you'll get logged into our Canvas ARC training course. And so you'll be able to follow along and see all of the really great fun features that we're going to have in store. That's where you'll also find the little tutorial that we're going to work through. So I'm a big fan of giving you some information and then having you work through the information, because once you get your hands on it, it's always a nice feature to be able to put it into practice. So it helps it stick, right? You retain a little bit more when we do stuff like that. No, it'll log you in. It'll ask you for your instructor account. So you'll have to log in with your instructor password, much like you would just right into Canvas. Yep. No, but it was here the other day when I was here, and I just was like, well, we're gonna leave it. We are gonna leave it. I know, right? It makes it somewhat festive, and it seems like it's really real, right? It seems like it's really real. Oh, it's on the board. Sorry, Bethany. Sorry, that was my fault. So, Mr. Dwayne, do you have a computer with you?
I do.
Okay. So if you want to just open up a browser window and then just migrate yourself over here, just follow this one. It'll take you to our self-enroll course for the ARC training. That way, no matter what, you will have all of the information that I'm going to give to you today in tutorial PDF walkthrough form, as well as access to our Q&A and all the other really fun features that we have. So that really is why we built the course. All right, is everybody ready? We're going to get started, and then as people, if they matriculate in, we'll just loop them in to where we need them to be. Okay, thank you so much for coming. This is our ARC training second section. So if you ever want to go back and review anything that we talk about, there's 2 recordings. So there's one that I sent out in the last email. That URL for the YouTube video will have access to that session. And today's would be an email that I sent out yesterday as well. And then you also have the course that you're going to enroll yourselves in that is useful and has all kinds of information. So any questions you may have, you possibly can find an answer to it inside one of these content pages that I built. I am going to organize them. I said it last time too, and it's on my calendar of to-do things. It just has not made it to the top of that calendar yet. I know most of you understand what that feels like, right? I have something I need to do. It just isn't at #1 priority yet. Hasn't made it up there. But it will, and I'll organize it so that it makes a little bit more sense. But it really is just anything that you could want or need to know about ARC, how to add things, how to move things, what it is. It's all in there. So I will cover most of that today. But if you have questions, right, it's all there. And then the piece that we're really going to focus on is at the very bottom of that course. There's the faculty training. So we don't need to do it now, but this is where we're going to put into practice the things that I'm going to show you about ARC. Do you have any questions before we get started? All 5 of you are good, and the 2 of you that are online. Awesome. Spectacular. I love it. Okay. So I am going to come over here to my sandbox just because it's a little easier for me to mess with things in here and not feel like I'm going to break something. So ARC is, I'm just going to build this really quick. So ARC is our new video platform. It is going to replace what was Kaltura. For those of you that have used Kaltura, you will understand how much fun that was. Come on in, come on in. You're good, you're good. You will understand how much fun that was. For those of you that have not had the privilege of using Kaltura, you don't want to learn because it's going to go away, number 1. And number 2, it's really not that user-friendly, intuitive. It's kind of funky. It's really hard to share things. Students don't have access to it, right? So we wanted to find a tool that gave you as faculty the ability to bring all of the video content that you would want to bring to your class, as well as giving your students the ability to use that same tool, right? Because Kaltura does not give you that ability, right? It's a one-way street. You can provide video content, and that's really it. But what ARC is going to allow you to do is it's now a two-way street. You can give video content, your students can give you, in response, video content. And then now there's all of this control, okay? So, giving you kind of, again, what that looks like. ARC is utilized in 2 different places. So I'm sure you've seen it over on the left-hand side over here, right, and the global navigation. You've seen the new icon that's over there. So you can access your video library that direction, or you can access it within your classroom, okay? So students will have access to it in the same 2 places as well. So down at the bottom, usually that's where it'll live, there's this ARC Media Library tab. So if you click on that, it's going to take you over here to this page, which again, if you've used Kaltura, will look similar, right, in nature. So this is your video collection place, right? So all of the videos that you have that are resident to this particular course will live inside of the tab inside of the course. Okay? Right, sir? So all of these videos, basically, you've put in at some point in time into this specific course. But let's say I want to see all of my videos, right? I want to know exactly how many videos I have shared or I have used. At the top, you have this really great drop-down menu. And what this allows you to do is it allows you to navigate, even inside of that specific course, to your collection of videos, to a different course's video collection that might just be specific to that course. You want to see, well, did I add that video over here? Did I add over here? It gives you the ability to feel like you don't have to leave. You don't have to move anywhere. You can access everything from one central location. So if I want to see overall what I have in my collection, I can click on my collection and you'll see here's all the videos that I've uploaded so far. There's only 4. 3 of them are driver's training. So those of you that have taken the driver's training recently, you're welcome. We're building a Canvas course for that, so no more paper tests. Yay! Right? It's all going to be back to where it used to be. But as you can see, all of the videos now that are in my collection that I have uploaded are here. There's another tab as well. And right underneath that is this tab called Shared With Me. Now, here's a really cool feature of ARC. I can share videos with anyone else that I want to. So let's say you have a video in a department, and you want the other teachers, other professors, to have access to this video. You can upload that, and you can share that video with them. And now that one video is now connected to all of those people. They can put it in their course if they want to, right? You have now shared an essential repository, so to speak, of this video content. So now a professor doesn't have to upload it specifically to their class and share it with somebody else, like email it or download it or do whatever, and then they have to upload it into their course. It's shared one time, and everybody has access to it. And then if I had a shared video, right, you'll see that here they are. So Jeff Lyman, who is awesome. Oh, and Bethany. See, Bethany shared a video with me. Okay, so you see, this is where I have access to all of these videos as well. So if I want to see what this looks like, okay, here's my video. Now I want you to notice a couple of really cool features about what ARC videos allow you to do. So I can, right here, I can download that video, which means that, let's say I have something and I want to make sure I have a copy of that. Just in case, right, world comes to a grinding halt or something happens and we lose it for some period of time, I have the ability to have that as an archive. I can do that. If I want to delete it, I'm done with it. Maybe it didn't serve the purpose I want it to, all of those type of things. I can delete that video here too. Again, I have the ability to share that with people, so I can embed that. I have links that I can share it with, or just like you would in like a Google form, like a Google Doc or something like that, if I click on the People tab, I can add an email address. If they're within NNU, you will be able to share that with them. Okay, so that's the caveat, is they have to be within NNU, right? It has to be that NNU email address, that NNU email address that everyone should be using. I say that because we've had a couple conversations about not that piece not necessarily always happening. Also, this is where you can set permissions for whom it is you're sharing a specific video with. So for example, I can view it, right? I can edit. So you have the ability to be granular with those permissions. You just want somebody to be able to access it, but not be able to download, right, and do those things and delete. You can just give them view permissions. So some interesting things about the actual video itself, some things you have here. You have a volume control, right, much like a standard one does. You have the ability to play back, okay? So I can go half speed, so I can slow my video down. I can play at normal speed. I can do 1.5 times and 2 times as fast, right? The nice thing about what ARC has done is they've preserved the audio integrity of the video. So even if you play it at 2 times the speed, the audio quality is preserved, so it should sound as normal as possible. Have you ever watched a video at 2 times the speed, right? It sounds kind of like chipmunks are going, or if you play like half speed, it's like, you're playing a record backwards. All right, ARC, they've really spent a lot of time on that part of the technology to make sure that it really still preserves the audio quality so it's as close as possible. You do have the option for closed captions. ARC does not have closed caption software built in yet, but if you want to add closed captions to your videos, I have a workaround for you in which we can get that full files for you and upload them, right? It's just having a video on YouTube, waiting for it to be transcripted, grabbing that file, which is a simple download, and then adding it to your ARC video, right? Really, really simple. Takes about an hour. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what about stuff on YouTube?
Okay.
Can we put that on here?
That is yours?
So not mine, but I use these for things to show stuff all the time on the campus page.
Okay. So is it copyrighted? Is it like from a publisher? Is it just random YouTube follow? Okay. Okay. So with copyright and copywritten material, you are allowed to use a copy of it for educational purposes. It has to be, it's like so much of it or something like that. You have the ability to link back to YouTube to continue to use YouTube videos and things like that. Because YouTube doesn't necessarily, there's like a quick, easy download from YouTube button.
Yeah, well, I actually require download things on YouTube just because
Right.
they disappear.
Right.
So, and also, I don't like the captioning on YouTube is not great, so I'll make sure it's right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have to, a lot of times I'm sorry.
No, you're good. This is over here.
Download videos on YouTube and then upload them back to my YouTube feed so that I can change the captioning so that they're right.
Yes.
Because it's really obnoxious when it sounds good. Like, that makes absolutely no sense.
Yes.
And so I've done that a lot. But my understanding was as long as it was on YouTube and I wasn't like saying this is mine, it's
Correct.
I'm okay doing that.
Correct. And as long as you give proper citation to either whose it is or where you found it, right, or whatever it is, you have the ability to use that material.
So if we downloaded it and put it here, though, would that be the same?
As long as, yes, as long as you're following the rules of making sure that you give it proper citation, right? You know what you, again, you're directing people back to the original source of that material, and it is I will look for you the specific amount of time, right, that you can use, but some of that is open, right? Some of that is completely open and you can use, and people have just said, yeah, no problem, just attribute it back to me, or whatever that is.
Okay, the other question I have is, space on Canvas.
Okay, so that's a perfect question. I was just gonna go there.
Right.
So Canvas, in your course, you have 500 megabytes of space per course that you can use. Arc, because the videos live in a separate system, still connected to your class, you have unlimited space for videos and things like that with your Arc, which is one of the reasons, one of the big features of why we went with Arc was there's unlimited space for faculty, but there's also unlimited space for student videos. So you don't have to worry about it taking away from your class size. You don't have to worry about any or all of that pieces of information. It all lives in a separate system, right, that's still connected, but it does not utilize any of that actual space for your class. Okay? So, and there's another really cool system about captioning, which we can talk about if you're interested in that. And it's really easy to edit captions and then re-upload those files. So this right here is where the comments are. Now, every ARC video, one of the awesome features about them is that they have the ability to actually embed commentary into the video at specific points in time in the actual video as it's playing. So let's say the video is playing, the student has a question about maybe a piece of content that's in the video. They can physically write a question and it will appear in line in the video, and I'll show you what that looks like when we kind of practice a little bit. But it appears in line in the video exactly where that is. And then the video then can continue to play. And then you, as a professor, have the ability to see that. You can comment back to them. There's two threaded discussions that can happen. There's one where students can respond back, right? And there's one where the faculty could initiate a question at a specific time too, within that video to prompt further discussion. So that's what ARC is allowing us to do. It's allowing us to dig deeper into these videos to really engage students in the content. So it's not just I'm throwing up a 5-minute video just to throw up a video, and I don't know if you're really watching it or not watching it or engaging or not engaging or whatever. This really helps you to drive that and use the tool as a vehicle to help deeper engagement with the content. Okay, it does also have some quality. So basically these are gonna be either lower quality, right? The resolution may not be the absolute best, but it's perfectly fine for the medium in which students are going to be watching them. And then again, you have the full screen controls. Okay, I know this is really what you wanna watch. All right, so here's where the comment is, okay? So here's this video that's in my collection. I believe this is the one that Jeff uploaded at some point in time. So I can come in here as a professor and give some sort of comment about this video. Okay, and so I'm gonna comment really at the start of the video. So now you'll see, here's my comment, right? And it is gonna show up right at the beginning. So let's say the video plays for a little while. Okay, perfect. So we'll stop it right here. And I'm gonna come in here and say, I'm gonna make a comment, that's a great point. I'm gonna comment it there. And so now if I go back and I play this video, which is actually Jeff Lyman talking, which is amazing. You'll notice that as it comes up to that specific moment in time, in where my comment is, my comment now pops up. So the students are getting the information in two different places, right? They're getting it as they're watching the video. There's commentary that kind of pops up on the side. And then down below, there's a list of all of the different comments as they happen. So as a professor, you can have two ways of accessing that information. You can see that there's comments in the video stream and you can click on them and go to them. Or you can come over here where the time signature is and click on that time signature, and it will take you directly to that point in the video where that specific comment was. So you can see exactly what the student was talking about or exactly what the conversation's about or whatever, however you want to integrate or work within that piece of information that's right there. Okay, here's another really cool feature. So you have the details tab, which here is where I can come in and edit some details. So I can give an overview of the video if I want, or maybe there's some specific instructions I want the students to follow with this video. I can come in here as a professor and add those in. Also, here is the insights. So as you can see, this one's just me. But I have the ability to see who it is watching the video and for how long they're watching the actual video, right? So if you have a student that isn't necessarily doing very well in your class, you have an opportunity to say, okay, here's this content. Are they really engaging with it? How do they even see it? Does it something that, maybe they've only watched the first, the beginning and the end, right? Because we're notorious for hanging out and being like, well, if I grab the beginning and the end, I'm going to get a summary of everything that I need to know, even though there may be some really good information that's in the middle. So this gives you a picture, right, of who it is that's watched this video or who it is or where they've watched it, right? You can see, again, right around that 1 minute mark, I literally have only watched it from here to here. That's it. That's all the time. And the more students you have, the deeper that analytics goes. So you can literally watch it as a whole class to see what the class average is. You can see specific individuals and see exactly where they have been. So it really just helps you kind of fine tune, right, where things are. A couple of things that are coming. So I'll give you a preview. We will have the ability to bake in quizzes inside of the video. So at some point in time, you'll be able to create a quiz, an assessment, and put it in the video. And then the students will watch the video, it'll stop them, it'll ask them a question. If they get it right, they can move on. If they get it wrong, you can set it up to where it'll take them back to a specific section in the video and review that information with them. Right? And then at the end, all that information gets transposed back up to your gradebook. So it gives you, again, just those snapshots, those pieces, right? So you're constantly tracking students using data, using those analytics, using those pieces that are kind of baked in. Do you have any questions? Okay, that's a great, right? It's a great question. So the recording feature, so teachers faculty professionals having the ability to record and upload their own content should be here this fall. That's the number one thing that they're working on right now. The quizzes and things between quarter 3 and quarter 4 of this year. So at the latest, November, December, right? Because that's the other piece that they're working on.
Right now, we can upload content.
Yes.
Versus being able to record content straight in our.
Correct.
Oh, so you're going to be able to do that at some point.
Correct. So we're hoping, the hope is that by the fall, so the beginning of the academic year, this fall in August, the recording feature will be available for us to be able to use. So that's the only downfall. Now, most people aren't using Kaltura to record their video content now. So however you're recording your content now is the same way that I would tell you to continue to record your content. And then instead of uploading it to YouTube, you can upload that now into ARC, right? Okay, I didn't tell you, how do you actually add this into a content page, right? Or a discussion or whatever that is. Let me show you, because it's really, really simple. Okay, so here's my test page, right, that I created. I'm gonna go to edit, right? Really, really simple. So you have your rich content editor that's right here. You have this little down arrow, down caret, whatever you wanna call it. It has more tools. If you click on that, you have these 2 different pieces. You have ARC and you have ARC videos. Either one is gonna take you exactly where it is that you want to go. So if I click on ARC videos, the videos that I have that are in my collection will pop up right here. Now I can, if I want, go to another place, right? So instructional design, here are all the videos that are in this particular course, right? So these are all the ones that have either been uploaded by students or that I have uploaded myself. Here's another really cool feature of what ARC has. In the event, let's say that you have a student that does an exceptional job. You want to use it as an example for the next class. You have the ability to go and grab that video that student did, right? And you can import that video into the next class, right from here by just going into that drop down and looking for your previous courses. It's really, really simple. Also, if you notice that when you hover over the video, you have an option. Up in the very top right corner of each video, where you'll notice it right up there is a comment on-off button, right? So this is if you don't want students to be able to leave comments in the video, right, like I was showing you those inline comments, all you have to do is click this off. Okay, so you just click this off, and now only the video comes over, right? The ability for them to like make comments and things like that, that does not come over. So this is great if you want to put a video in a discussion and not have to worry about two separate discussions happening, right? Because there would be the discussion inside the video, and then there would be an actual Canvas threaded discussion that would form below that.
And they can see the comments that they put on the video. So for example, I do a video about them where they introduce themselves with the video because I want them to see each other. So, and right now I have it so that they have to, I'll post their video and then everyone has to watch it, and then just the discussion posts, they all have to comment. But if we did it this way and they actually commented on the actual video, would everyone get, or at least the person who submitted, would they be able to see all the comments?
Everybody would be able to see it.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, and that's a beauty because everybody has access to this. Everybody can see all of the comments, right? You as a professor have the ability in the comment stream, if you are seeing something that maybe is inappropriate, right, or it is not necessarily the most productive comment, you have the ability to go in and delete those comments from that thread, right? Students also have the ability to edit their comments. So they could say something and you could give them feedback and then they could go and fix that, right? So they have that, so there's that street that's in there as well. But again, all I have to do now is, this is the one I want to choose. It's going to go and retrieve that. It's going to place it in my content page, in my discussion, wherever it is. Notice, you will not see the actual video content, okay? You see this really great view box is basically what that is, that shows up there. Don't freak out, that's what it's supposed to look like. Okay, I know sometimes we're used to being able to see on the back end like the little box that has the play button, right, and be able to see it. On here, you don't see that. So now if I come over here and I click save, there's my video, right? You'll notice that I turned the comments off. So there is no underneath like there were before where the insights and the discussion and the details were. That whole bar is turned off. And I do not have the ability, even over here, to turn it back on. So that type of control happens when the video is being brought in, okay?
So if they're submitting a video, do they have to turn on comments?
It's the same way. It's the same way. They will have from their instance, they will have the same ability. Yep.
So is it defaulted to comments?
It's defaulted to comment. Yep. Yeah. So if they don't, if you don't say anything, they won't know. Okay. So that's as simple as that is.
When a student makes a video though, are they gonna upload it as like, can they upload it to Dropbox for the assignment, or are they gonna upload it straight to a page? They can't edit a page in discussion. They would have to have a comment, or they could make it as an assignment, and instead of a paper, they could upload it. Right, which is what I've done, so you just have to go in and move it from the upload the file over to the page.
So when they're doing a submission, right, and you have an assignment and other discussion or whatever it is, you have the ability to select what you want them to do. When the student goes to submit that, they'll have the upload section, right, which is like where they would go and find a document or whatever kind of material they were looking for. They'll have the Google section where they go into Drive. They'll have an ARC section where once they upload the video, they can actually go in and grab and connect the video right there and click submit. So, and in SpeedGrader, when you go into that in the gradebook, you will actually be able to see the video that student has in SpeedGrader. It all appears right there. So if you have them submit an assignment like that in a discussion, their video will show, and then any posts, right, or anything else that they have, all of that information will be right there.
So then if we do want to share it with the rest of the class, will it be like listed in that class to select?
Yes.
Videos we don't have to download and upload?
Yes, yes. So when I just put Amy's video in my page, I went to the instructional design class, this one over here that you guys all self-enrolled. That's where that video was shared. And so you can go in and grab it and bring it over. Yep. So again, it's making that ability that you have as faculty to share that content back and forth really, really easy, right? Really, really simple. The other thing too is if you have videos from like Cengage or McGraw-Hill, right, or something you're using in your class now, you can still use that same material because you're accessing it and you're using it in the exact same way that you would have previously. Now you're just uploading it into ARC and using it through that tool. Then you are doing something else. Yes, thank you for that lovely, lovely. Okay. So this is what I want you to practice, because this will drum up a few more questions, I guarantee it. So in the bottom of this page is this tutorial, this thing I want you to work through as faculty. So you'll see this is kind of what I did. So the very first part is the kind of tips and tricks or tools, right? So you're going to take a moment and I want you to look at this specific video, right, in the discussion. So I went to, in the module at the very, very bottom of the module is the, sorry. Okay, fine, I'll go over here. So in the ARC page, right, the class you enrolled, the very, very bottom, there's the faculty training piece. The very first section right here is the discussion. So I want you to see what the comments, the discussion looks like. So if you click on that, there's a video that I uploaded. You'll see all the previous people that took this class. All of their comments are listed underneath that discussion. So I want you to take a minute. The video is literally 30 seconds and it's nature, right? You don't have to watch the whole thing. You can if you want, but you don't have to watch the whole thing. But I want you to see what it's like to add a comment. So watch the video for a sec, figure out a good spot to stop, and then see what happens when you start typing a comment. It's right here.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So if you just put this in your URL, it'll take you right there, and you just click the enroll or join button. You're good. You're all those all good. Okay, I'll wait a minute. Okay, so as you can see, now if I scroll through my comments, I can see, right, what everything looks like. So again, I can see that Dwayne right now, a few seconds ago, right, added this comment. Drew had a comment, deleted a comment. I can see it just like it would be in a regular threaded discussion. The same thing exists. Okay, and then 8 days ago, this is when Jeff said his. So it gives you an arbitrary timeline so you can see as people are commenting, like right when they are, just like in a discussion.
But so on our screens though, what we're seeing is what you wrote, but I didn't see what Dwayne wrote in the discussion.
Okay, so you have to make sure that you refresh your page. So that's the one of the caveats is you have to make sure that you're constantly getting like the new feed. So if you want to see anything that is new, you either have to go out and come back in, right, or do that. So it's much like even if you're in a threaded discussion. And as a student, right, in order to see maybe some new comments that happen, if you sit in the discussion, you won't see them, right? The page has to refresh in order for you to be able to see those. So, and then my insights are here. So now I can, again, you see these are all the people that have watched this video. Well, let's see, Becky, how much did you watch? Okay, well, Becky watched the whole thing. Bethany, how about you? Okay, see, awesome. So I am a really bad student, right? You can see that, again, I've only watched from 18 to 24 seconds. I only watched 6 seconds of this video. So this is, again, is a great way for you as a faculty to be able to see who's engaging in that content, and then be able to start figuring out, maybe if they're not doing so well, this might be a reason why, and having them, directing them back and talking and going through. All right, now let's say, as you can see, look, we have tons of comments in this video, right? There's all kinds of different things. Let's say I don't want to see that. I want to turn those off, and I want to just focus on the threaded comment or discussion below. I can do that. Don't go away, right? They're just hidden at that point. So I have the ability, I can turn them off, I can turn them on, right? I can do all kinds of different things like that from my view to be able to just help me process and see what's going on and be able to figure out all of those things. Because sometimes if you walk into a video and there's a class of 30 and you've got a 5-minute video, you could potentially have a lot of comments. So looking at that bar, that could become overwhelming at a point.
So can the kids turn it off too? If they want to,
Mhm.
But is there a way to, like in a discussion board, where you can see other posts?
So this is a great question. So you would set that, if you're doing a discussion, you would set it up the exact same way. You would click those same boxes and you would just say, nope, you can't see your replies until you actually post something. And then it would be the exact same way, right? So the students would be able to see the videos or any of those discussions posts that are posted until somebody else posted. So all the same rules in the discussion that have been in Canvas before hold true this way as well. This is just giving them another modality to be able, another tool, right, to be able to use to bring content in. And especially for introductions, right? How much fun would it be for every student to record a 30-second introduction and place that in? I mean, the connection that you get, the community that you build there is much deeper than here's my 4 paragraphs, right, that I literally copy and pasted from my introduction page, my document, right, that I have on the side because every class has to do the same. Right? We're engaging the students with just a different tool. Okay, so that was the first piece. Awesome, well done. You guys all passed so far. You're such good students. Okay, the next one is an assignment that you're actually going to find some video or find a video and add it to a discussion. So I have taken the liberty of creating a folder in Google Drive. So if you go to the next section, if you click on that link, it'll take you to the Google Drive folder. There's about 5 different videos. All of them are nature, right? Because that's the nature. And you can go grab one of those. You can download that video, and then you're going to add it to the discussion that's right below that. So all your instructions are there. So click on the link, take you to the folder, find a video that you like. You're going to download it. You're then going to go to the discussion. You're going to create a new discussion post. You're going to add your video. And then I want you to go through looking at the new videos that are going to be added. And I want you to comment on 1 or 2 or all of them if you so desire, if you're super studious like that.
We just gotta know that it's too big for Google to scan for viruses. What's the maximum size for that? I'm gonna guess not very big.
No, that's the one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, I want to say it's like 20 megabytes. I think any over 20 megabytes is what's here. So trust, I scanned them over.
Yeah, no. If you're doing your own, they shouldn't have any viruses.
Right. Yeah, right, exactly. You would hope. Yes, but you don't have to upload it to ARC. You can actually go in and do it right from the discussion. So you have the ability, right, to turn comments off and on. So you can experiment with that if you want. See what that looks like. And because it is a discussion, it will use the actual written discussion response structure that's already built in.
Do you know when students will be able to record or will it show up with, like, will it show up in the same place? Will they go to my collection?
Yes.
Upload?
Yes. Yeah. So right next to the upload button, there will be a record button. It'll have the same. It'll be in the same place. And then they're talking about in the rich content editor using that. There's a record button in there as well that just natively records your webcam. Replacing that with an ARC recorder. So at that point, you'll be able to click that and record directly into ARC. At that point too.
I'm missing stuff, I'm sorry. And so I downloaded the
Okay.
little thing. How do I get it into here?
Okay, in the discussion. Okay, so you go into like you would want to respond.
Right.
Okay, so I'll walk you through.
I applied it.
Okay. Right, so now you've got your rich content editor.
Right.
You click this little down caret,
Right.
and you'll see this little ARC videos. So, great. Okay, first thing, thank you. Now it's good.
Mine's just doing it.
Yes. Okay. So it takes a minute. It will upload it, and then it will go through what's called a processing period. So basically, it's just scanning it. It's making sure that the video quality is okay. It's compressing it down for the low MP4 quality. It's doing all of that, and then it will be available. Right. So my 15-minute campus driving training videos took about 5 minutes for it to process through. So the 15 seconds should not take very long. If it is, then what you want to do is you want to delete that and do it again.
This is the second time.
Second time? So it could be one of two things.
Yeah.
It could be the tablet, it could be the internet connection. So one of the things that they told us was that that's one thing that can throw things off, especially when you're uploading media, right? You're uploading something and it gets interrupted in that process, it can kick everything out. And then it stalls and it does what yours is doing, just kind of, it looks like it's just spinning or cycling, right? So at that point, you might want to just stop it, start it back over.
I downloaded it to my device. It's on my device.
Mhm.
But it's not in my art collection.
Right. That's what it is.
Yes.
That's
Yeah, because once you get it on your device,
Okay.
then you have to upload it.
Correct. Okay, let me walk you through it.
I just, or if I, so this is like, or I can already have it uploaded.
Mhm. Yes, yeah,
And the discussions are there.
exactly. Yes, so yeah, you could go into the ARC Media and you could upload it through there as well. And then it would, yes, exactly like Bethany said, it would already be there.
So with beautiful things actually in art.
Exactly, exactly. And that's what we're really, so we also are on the beta testing team, right? So we will get updates and things like that first. And I have been pushing. I would say that I tell them every day, but that might be a lie. It might be twice a day. And I constantly am talking to them about, hey, when it's ready, you let us know. We'll test it for you, right? All of those things. Also, because it's in structure, just like Canvas, if you find something that would work better, if you have a problem, if you have a thought about how to make it more streamlined or a feature that you'd like to see, those are the things that they want to hear. So please don't hesitate. That's the information that I want. So if you have something, if your students are using it and you see that there's this bridge, right, that could be created that would make a process easier or more streamlined or better functioning, then that's what I want to hear. And I want you to share it with me so that I can share it with the team, right? Because that's how this tool is going to get even better, is by compiling all of that information. Anybody having problems? Is it still?
It's uploaded, but it won't post in the comments.
Okay, let me see if I can do it. Because it could very well just be the internet.
Yeah.
You have my younger son sitting here right now.
Yeah,
Like,
it's,
massive on one video. He's so nice. Because I like him to watch like full on shows, you know, like Who I Ride, and have him able to talk like so I know he actually saw it. Oh,
Yes.
this makes me very well. That kind of is the question I have. You know when you go to SpeedGrader, you can see the comments they put on the discussion.
Yes.
Can you see that anywhere if they are commenting on the video itself?
Okay. So
Or are you just gonna go through and see their picture?
it's a great question.
Yeah, I want.
Okay, so here is, right? So here's all these different videos and things like that.
Oh,
Okay, so here's the video that Lynn put in. So right, you see I'm in SpeedGrader. Okay, I could go through and right now I could physically watch the video that she has. Okay, and she does not have comments that are listed on her video. Okay, well, let's find somebody else.
Amy Rice has
So here's Jessica's video. As you can see, her video has comments enabled. And so any of the comments that are in the video, I would be able to see. Now, however, it will not yet show up as a response post, right? Like, so in a thread of discussion, you'll see their initial post and then you'll see their subsequent posts, right? They're kind of like separated out, okay? Comments in an inside of an art video will not do the same thing, right? Yet. And that's kind of advanced at the moment, right? We're asking them to take comments that are inside of the video and be able to transpose those out to the gradebook. So it is something that we talked about last week. One of the things that faculty brought up was that would be a really great thing if that happened as well. So no matter where a student commented, either it was either in a video or in an actual discussion post, it would push out to the gradebook so I can look at it in SpeedGrader like this. So it's something that they've said they've heard a lot. And they're looking into to figure out how they could write that so it would grab all that. That is wholeheartedly above my pay grade. Coding, I don't even want to do that. Sir?
Yeah, I'm just looking at Rhonda's video format. It's different than everyone else's. So I don't know if you uploaded it through Kaltura or what you uploaded it through, because it's shown up as like almost a thumbnail compared to all the others. So if you refresh that page, you'll see there's a significant difference.
Let's find out.
So I don't know if you're uploading the right one. Oh, I need that little thing. It also just takes a little time to load the thumbnails and that video.
Okay, so that's a great example. So what Rhonda did, exactly what happened was that one went through Kaltura, through the My Media there.
But every time I tried to shut it down, and it told me it hadn't downloaded,
But then it appeared anyways. Well, that's an interesting little quirky thing.
was because how was that?
Are not necessarily super friendly.
That's what I got, and then it
You'll run our video discussion.
Yep. Yes, ma'am. So did you refresh your page?
Never mind. I'm not seeing anything.
And I did.
Interesting.
I did upload them, I did, but-
No, I believe you. I can see it.
No, I mean, I didn't like upload my see all year.
You can't see your.
No, I can't see mine, but I can see that everyone else. Jeff Lyman is the first person on mine.
Yeah, I might get. But again, it could be my talent.
This is
But
fun.
I just need to refresh. I was actually kind of surprised that the tablet actually played it all, so. I had some issues.
can reply, but I can't do that.
Yeah, keep them there all the
On the bottom, oh,
See, there.
okay.
Yep.
Okay, I just do it for, not the top.
Yes, sir.
Ah,
So they populate, so just like a regular discussion, right?
Yeah.
Anytime-
And if I would read the idea that says replies are only view after you reply, yeah, that would help.
Got it, I get it now,
Not to worry.
sorry.
We may just have to talk to the developer, maybe it's not compatible on all the devices. I mean,
Rhonda, are you using, or are you using Chrome? Interesting. That's the first one. Well, because Sinead did it on her Surface and it worked fine.
And I'm using Chrome on my
Yeah,
iPad.
that is interesting. So Drew, what is it doing?
It's, it says it's uploading, but, I mean, it's not a very big file.
Oh, it's okay.
It's kind of stuck uploading.
Okay, well, let's give it a second and see what it does. No, but this is, again, these are the good things, right? This is, I know that sometimes this is hard to, oh my gosh. But this is good stuff. It's good to find like the quirks. It's good to see where stuff isn't necessarily as how it should be.
Yeah, I get all the comments, and I get all the, I understand the steps, just don't know.
Okay. And it could be too. It could just be the connection in this room. I would tell you that it's always been perfect, but that would be a lie. There have been issues in this room with connection. So it again.
It's showing a strong connection on the little icon.
Yeah, it does that. So, and it could be too. It could be that everybody, all 8 of us, are trying to upload something at the same time, right? And then you're trying to pull content and you're trying to do all kinds of stuff. It could be a number of factors. Could be the fact that it's almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon and the internet between 2:30 and 5 is usually internet. So, you know, I mean, we could be experiencing a number of factors.
But we can go back to our offices and do this too.
Yes, sir. Yes, you can. Yep. So that, ladies and gentlemen, that's ARC. Like in a nutshell, it's very, very simple. It has a lot of very robust features that give you the ability to do a lot with video content and engaging students in that medium, really starting to figure out how we can differentiate for students, that can provide them information where they need it, how they need it, where they need it, when they need it. And it gives us as professors a lot more tools that we can use and have access to, right? Whereas Kaltura was in some forms really not necessarily user-friendly for sharing and accessing and doing different pieces of information. This has that ability to work a little bit in a much easier fashion and especially for you as professors, right? It's not, you don't have to go 5, 6, 8, 10 steps to do something. It's very, very streamlined, very, very simple.
Can you talk a little bit more about grading, like if you're gonna grade this?
Okay. I do like how they put there's crickets on videos, just because it makes me feel like I want to comment on something so that I don't see crickets, but it's always great,
This is not a slide.
right?
So if I was using this in a discussion board, and maybe I didn't want to get confused with the video comments and the discussion board comments, I ask my students to
Disable the comments.
So we just do the video and discussion board.
Exactly. Exactly. And in all honesty, that is how I would say to use it in a discussion board type setting. 100%. Is I would have them disable, because you're going to get what we got, right? You have this giant list of things to scroll through, but you're going to have comments in 2 different places, and now you've got confusion. And you're going to field a bunch of questions from students. Well, where do I comment? or I did comment, right, and you didn't see it. So in that avenue, what I would have them disable their comments. And again, there's a whole page in this training course that you can literally copy and paste over into your course if you wanted to, that will tell students exactly how to disable the comments, right? So that they would understand what that looks like.
What if I want to have them comment, but I don't necessarily want them to see somebody else's comment?
For,
If they're not watching the video, I want them to they're watching, I want them to be able to respond to what they're watching, but they don't necessarily see what everybody else has done. I just want to know, that just shows me that they actually watched it and then they're actually.
Do it as an assignment.
yes. Yep. Okay, so here is, again, here's a video that was uploaded. And if I was grading this, let's say I had a rubric, just like you would in a regular assignment, your rubric would show up over here, right? You could add any comments that you wanted to about the specific video, even if how they responded to comments that were in the video, right? You could dialogue about that. You could have a discourse about that. You can come in here, you could grade it, right? Whatever it was, however many points it was based on your rubric, all that information is then saved in right there. So it's all built in. So exactly how you would normally grade anything, you're just adding the video element. And if I wanted to, I can come over here and I could sit and watch this video.
So if I wanted to see who commented on it or if there was comments on it.
Yep. No, you just scroll down.
Oh, I see.
And then all the comments and things like that are right there. And then when you're done, you just scroll on to the next.
So there is comments.
Yes. Yep. And let's say you don't. So Kathy didn't do that. But let's say, over here, you didn't want to see the comments, right? You weren't concerned about that. You can, because it's that video, right? You can turn those off, and then just watch the video here, and not even have to worry about, having that pop up in the video if you wanted to, or whatever that looks like. So you would have that ability to do that.
Cool, we could have it. But going back to what I was asking before, so let's have a video and I want their feedback on it, but I want them to have their own, I don't want them to display to other people.
Mhm.
So it'd be cool if I could have the same movie and then see where everybody, kind of like the live feed on Facebook, where you can see where people responded.
Right, right.
So I can see what the majority of people are, or make sure that they all, that would be supposed to really be really nice.
Gotcha.
That makes sense.
Yes. Yep. I totally understand what you're saying.
Just so I could see where was the big, where were the ones that they were really responding to, so I could bring that up back into the conversation.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's where if you're looking at the individual, videos as a whole. So let's say, for example, let's go back to that actual discussion. Okay, and let's say that I wanted to see some of the insights, right? So here's where overall, okay, I can track my views. So I've got 18 views, I got 17, right? So it dips off just a second, it comes back up to 18, goes back down to 17. So you can do an overview, right? Because this is what this is. This is my overview view. And then from here, if I want to, I'm actually looking at, I can click on individual people to see what that individual person did and where that individual watched that particular piece.
And it goes away after each class, so it'd be different.
Yes. So every time if you start a class over, right, the video refreshes and becomes a new instance in that new section or that new course. You can, if let's say I like the discussion that's in this one and I want to use that as an example, I can import this video into another course, and all the comments and everything else like that are on this video would stay, right? And so I could use that as an example. And so I could show students what that looks like, or what the threaded comments in the video look like. I could use that if I wanted to. And that would just be me going into my new course, going into where my ARC videos are, going down to my previous courses, grabbing that video, and just embed it, just click it in, that's all I want. And then it embeds it across. Okay, couple of things. As you are in this ARC Canvas course, right, all of these different things are in here for you as well. So any type of, more often than not, let me say that, the video format that you're going to want to upload, ARC will allow. So Flash video, right, MP4, a Windows Media File, video, anything that you're going to get from like Jing, if you use Screencast-O-Matic, right, those videos that it outputs, or outputs that way, you can import those into ARC. That's the video quality that it will support. So you will probably not find, or you probably won't create a video that won't be able to be used. If you do, just let myself or Shanae or one of us know or something like that, and we'll figure out how to get that translated for you. So there is a piece that you can do, but it supports pretty much any file type that you'll want to use or that you will use. Also, if you have questions, there's a Q&A session at the top of where the modules are, right? So this is where if you have a question, something comes up, you want to ask it, you get back to your office, something you didn't, you use it a little bit, or students are using it, something comes up, this is where you can throw a question out. And because I'm connected to this, it'll come to me right away. So for example, Lynn had a question about HIPAA, right? Because they were talking about wanting to take these sessions that students are doing and post them, right? Using ARC, take those video sessions and post them. So what does that look like, right? How does that work? And so we went out and researched and talked to the guys at ARC, and then we were able to come up with a response for her about what that looks like. And other places that are using, in nursing programs or whatever, that are using this solution in that same app. Because again, that's something that we have to be cognizant of, right? We have to make sure that we're not violating FERPA, right? We have to make sure that we're HIPAA compliant. Like we have all of these things that we want to make sure that we're doing to protect safety, security, identity, all of those things. But
But I'm using copyrighted content with that, the details.
yes,
And that will stay with it, no matter where I pull it out of my house.
And there's a copyright site that you can go to request copy sites, and they'll go out and see which ones are available. I know I've got a couple of articles, but that's where I went to, and they got me the perfect copyright for free, so.
yeah. And if you have any questions about copyright, EURICE is spectacular, right? If you have a question about how much video can I use, right, all of that, can I use this, can I not use this, if I do use this, what I have to do, she is the guru, and she will be able to walk you through all of that and tell you what you can and can't use, and all of that. So I will direct you to her for sure. If not, I can also have information documents and things that I can send you of things that we refer to when we're either building courses or doing things like that with adjuncts and things like, again, to do that exact same thing, to be able to explain, hey, this is, if you're using a book, right, you can use X amount of chapters. If you're doing this, you can do this, right? So that's how that works. Because copyright they updated it with the TEACH Act to kind of help teachers, especially in our position, when we're using media now, because that is a lot more prevalent than it used to be. They actually open the doors for us a little bit to say you can have more gravity to use things in a broader sense in the education setting than you would just normally, or what we used to use.
So are there student tutorials so that I want to put this in the class relatively soon?
Anything that you want. So all of these pages, you have access to all of them. So you can come in here, yep, you can link to these, you can grab whatever you need. If you want something specific, I can export you modules if you want, and then I can send it to you, and then you can import that module.
I actually made one for myself, but it's all the other way of doing it. So
Gotcha.
but this is so much nicer than what I was doing.
Nope, I can do that, not a problem. You guys have any other questions?
If you have any Kaltura videos that you need exported and then upload, let me know, because I can get those downloaded. Have new videos.
Okay, also, thank you, Drew, for bringing that up, because I did not cover that. All of the Kaltura videos that we currently have over the summer will be converted into ARC videos. So it's going to be a lengthy process, which is why we're doing it over the summer. But all of those videos, and then we're going to be talking to about, we'll be probably emailing all of you at some point in time to say, is this content that you need, right? So we're not going to bring over stuff that we don't necessarily need. If it is a video or it is something that you have used or going to use, right, then awesome, we'll bring it over for you. But if not, we're just going to let it die with Kaltura and leave it over there.
And we can have a long enough license for Kaltura to be able to give time to migrate, make sure we didn't lose anything.
Definitely. Okay, well, thank you guys so very much. If you have questions, please, like I said, don't hesitate to email, stop by, drop a question in the course. There are cookies here if you so desire. Sorry, online folks, there are no cookies, but you know what? That's just how that works because you are online. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Have a wonderful day, and let me know if you need anything. And then I will also, as things change, as things get updated, as new tools or pieces to ARC become available, I will let everybody know, and we'll probably have another session at some point in time or a webinar, right? Some way to tell you how to use that feature. So, okay, thanks guys very much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.